You're on the road with Website Magazine. I'm Dante Monteverde. We're at AdTech San Francisco, and we're joined today with Don Mathis from Epic Advertising. Don, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us a little about Epic Advertising, what separates you from your competition, and the recent rebranding from AzoogleAds.
Thanks. Epic is a performance marketing company. We have an online advertising network which generates primarily display advertising, and we also do a tremendous amount of search through our Bazaar search division. I think what separates us is that we're very focused on performance marketing. We rebranded, in fact, to emphasize that focus and to let the world know that we do search and we do display, and they're both done through brand names like Bazaar and AzoogleAds, which have traction within their sectors. And together, we are Epic, and we go to the advertiser that we serve, and we look to ultimately serve them in a channel agnostic way, whatever's going to generate the highest volume of traffic and the best conversions to serve the needs of their campaign, and each campaign is individual. So I think one of the things that separates us is that we've been around either both in the Azoogle and in the Bazaar form for quite a while. We're very good at what we do. We generate a lot of quality traffic, and we think of quality as being two forms. We think that quality traffic is, on the one hand, a lead or a customer that is successful according to the definition of the campaign. A lead, for example, that has a high likelihood of converting to being a paying customer. We also think of quality as high integrity traffic that is generated according to the highest standards of federal and state regulators, according to the sources where the traffic is generated, the MySpace terms and conditions, Google's requirements. From that perspective, we consider it our twin peaks of traffic quality. And the idea there is, if you're serving an advertiser, you're going to serve them well and serve them for the long term, you've got to have both. You can't have one and not the other. This is a giant undertaking. It probably represented about $6.5 million of spend last year, so 5% of our total revenues. And that number is an absolute number. You can't really spend less than that and manage to pull that off effectively. We just hired the lead investigator from the Florida Attorney General's office to work with our company. We hired a prosecutor from the New York Attorney General's office. These people are all part of the process of ensuring that we achieve the highest level of integrity on the traffic that we generate, and that matters to a lot of advertisers. In addition to generating traffic which is going to convert at the highest rate compared to the other companies in the sector.
Okay, well, you told us about Epic Advertising. So what is a typical client for Epic Advertising? Are you industry specific? Can you service pretty much anyone? How does that work?
Yeah, we don't have we don't have religion, so to speak, around any particular vertical. We've always been fairly vertical agnostic. So we serve advertisers across the gamut. In the last 3 months, we've had new marquee clients that have included Intuit with our TurboTax products, and that's obviously I guess you'd call it a financial related product. In addition, a personal consumer financial related product, we've worked with Verizon through their FiOS, promoting their FiOS system. We work with Nielsen in collecting data for the panels that they do. So we really are, what we see ourselves as being specialists, not so much in a particular vertical, but in traffic acquisition and customer acquisition. If in effect you think of a typical ad network, a vertical ad network as being very deep typically in a vertical or two verticals, or you look at generalist ad networks, we're not generalists because we have that performance focus, nor are we specific in any one vertical. We have depth in a lot of verticals, I think.
That's very interesting. That seems very good. Switching gears a little bit, I've heard that you've recently launched a Facebook application. We all know social networks and social search is hot. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, from our perspective, we ultimately believe that we need to be able to offer our advertiser any form of distribution that's out there. So, back in the day, that was the ability to do email marketing. It became, over time, important to offer search marketing, and that ultimately led to the Bazaar acquisition. It became important to have robust, email display and search. We think of Facebook applications as a subset of our display advertising. And what we're trying to do there is be able to offer, we also do video, by the way, and the goal is to be able to offer to the advertiser who says to us, hey, this is the campaign we want, and we'd like to get traffic over these various channels. We want to be able to help them get that traffic. And if you're working in social network space, you need to have something other than just throwing up a banner. we can do that, and we do that for some advertisers. That's what they want. But when the Facebook application phenomenon happened, what we found was that this was a tremendous way of engaging the type of people who are using a social network and what they're using it for, to really engage them in a creative way. And so we began working with third-party developers who were very good at developing Facebook applications. We began doing our own development around it, and we in effect partnered with them to be able to get out there and serve advertising that is relevant to the consumer. Social network consumers are a tough crowd to get to from an advertiser perspective. You have to be very careful in how you approach it. And so we felt, hey, this is not going to be a 2008 story in terms of generating hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue, but it's eventually going to become a critical part of the tool set that we bring to the advertiser. And what we found is that it's actually grown pretty rapidly. We've had a lot of success with it. Works very well on a performance-based campaign, as long as you do it carefully, and that's where I think having invested the time and experience into it has set us apart.
Excellent, excellent. Looks like Epic has things covered. I definitely think the rebranding process of the umbrella corporation from Epic Advertising, Azoogle, is kind of totally making sense. And I see good things in the future. Don, thank you so much for meeting me. Good luck for the rest of the show at AdTech. And that's going to do it here from AdTech in San Francisco. This is Dante Monteverde. Until next time.